Yeah, we're planting a few beans using the Squarefoot garden method. Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. Today we are going to plant two different types of beans, two different types of green beans. We're going to grow bush beans and pole beans. And so let me tell you about those two types. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's getting toward mid-spring. Today is April 23rd. What is today? April 23rd. We're getting toward the end of April. My last frost date is supposed to be April 25th. There's no frost in sight for the next 10 days, and we're hitting 80-degree weather during the day, and at night we're only getting down into the mid 50s. So we're going to go ahead and start growing some of our summer crops. And the one we're going to focus on today are beans. Beans come in many different shapes and sizes. There are yellow beans, there are purple beans, there are green beans, there are many different types. There are some that grows up on a vine, there are some that grow like bush beans. And so today we are only going to focus on green beans, so beans that are only green today, and we're going to grow several different varieties. For the bush beans, I'm going to grow three different types of bush beans. I am going to grow Provider. Provider is a bean that has like really dark brownish purple beans inside of it, and it germinates in about 8 to 10 days. And we are going to plant these about a ½ inch deep. That's Provider. We're also going to grow Landreth. Landreth is one of my favorite bush beans. It gets really long, beautiful beans, Landreth. Again, the plant depth, all of that kind of stuff's the same. Landreth has been around since the 1800s, and it is one of my favorite. It produces a smooth, tender pod, and it grows about 5 inches long. Provider is a 5 to 6 inch long pod as well. Provider is disease resistant, and it's a staple in home gardens. But y'all, I just don't like it. I don't like those brown beans or I feel like there's a bug in my beans when the beans are brown. But anyway, we're gonna do Provider. It's 55 to 60 days to harvest. The Landreth is 55 days to harvest as well. And the last one I'm gonna do is called Roma 2. A friend of the family that we call Grandpa, that's his favorite bean. It's a Italian bean. It's a wide flat bean, and I really don't like wide flat beans, but he does. So we're growing it for him. It's 59 days to harvest. These were very prolific last year in the garden, so I'm hoping we'll get a good harvest again this year. And the bean pods are about 7 inches long, according to the seed pack here. And it says this is a bush option to the Romano pole bean, Romano pole bean. This can grow on a pole as well, or grow on a vine, I should say. And I'm only growing one pole bean or one vining green bean, which means it's going to grow up on this trellis that's right behind me. And that bean is Blue Lake. Blue Lake is the only pole bean I have ever grown because once I started growing it, I loved it. I thought it was so good. So we're going to do the Blue Lake. Oh, y'all, I'm missing one. I need to go get that other bean. There is one more. I bought a new one that I'm going to try. And I'm going to have it grow on one side of this trellis and have these Blue Lake grow on the other. Oh, but you know what? It's not a green bean. It's a different color. So we won't be growing that one today. Today, we're only focusing on green beans. Germination for pole beans is about 6 to 14 days. So it takes a little longer to germinate, and it takes a little longer to come to maturity. The difference between pole beans and bush beans is that bush beans are more like determinate. If you think about them like the same way you do tomatoes, determinate means it's going to put most of the beans on at one time, a nice big thick harvest, and then it'll start petering out on you and it'll dry out and give up. That's most bush beans, not all, but most. Your pole beans are going to grow and they're going to vine and they're going to keep growing and vining until disease takes it out or cold weather takes it out. And so that's the difference between a pole bean and a bush bean. Pole beans, I personally don't think puts as many beans on like a bush bean. But last year I only planted 6 pole beans. That's it. And I got pounds and pounds and pounds of beans off of those. I think the year before that I did 8 pole beans, and that's all it took. And I got a bumper crop the year before, not last year, but the year before last. Last year, the rabbits decided they liked my pole beans too, and they kept on eating my harvest and eating it down to the nubs. And so by the time I finally got the beans growing, y'all, we were already like in August, and I still got a good harvest. So pole beans, we will only need a handful to cover this trellis here. Bush beans, it's a little different. Now we are going to, well, let me put it down in my book what we're doing today. So this is my seed starting journal here. This is volume 2 of the garden journal, and it talks about seed starting and my planting schedule and everything like that. I couldn't find a journal that was perfect for me. So I decided to design a journal that's perfect for me. And every year I keep improving it and putting in things in here that I like. So if you want one, they're on Amazon. The link will be below, but just keep in mind, I did design it for me. So I'm going to the garden plan in the front of the book here. In my garden plan for the green beans, since I'm planting from seed, I'm going straight to the outdoor schedule, and I'm going to put in today's date, 4/23, for the green beans and for the pole beans. Did I put those down? Pole beans. I want to separate those out. I'll be able to track when I started my plants, when I start harvesting them, so I can see how long it's been. In the front of my book here, I do have a reference table that talks a little bit about whether something's a cool season or a warm season crop, how long it needs to, before you get a harvest, hours of sunlight, and just some comments and special notes. It's not anything fancy, it's just a few reminders for me, but the one thing that I do want to add to this table is how deep I should be planting my seeds. And I think that's going to be an improvement for next year. But anyway, I've already marked in the book the beans that we're going to be starting today. We are going to use the Squarefoot garden method, and I'm going to show you that method as we go. I went ahead and purchased one of these seed squares on Amazon, and this seed square will kind of tell you how close to plant your seeds, which is pretty cool. At least I thought it was pretty cool. So I keep talking about the Squarefoot garden method. This is the book that I studied all winter long, quite a few winters ago at this point. More than 10 years ago, I studied this book, and I studied it and I took notes, and I started planting my garden using this method. Now, I loosely follow it now because I kind of got an idea of what I'm doing, but this is the book, and I have 2 or 3 different copies of the Squarefoot garden method, but this older version, it's not fancy. There's not a whole bunch of color pictures or anything in here, but it's got what you need in here to get you started if you want to grow a lot of food in a small space and you don't want to have to worry about a whole bunch of weeding. That's this one. So anyway, back to the seeding square here. This square, there's a lot of different colors on it here, but if you use this square, you can find out how close you need to plant your stuff together. So for example, I am planting beans, right? I said I'm planting beans. Beans and pole beans. What does the plus mean? There's a little planting guide that comes with it here. So beans, for pole beans, it says I need to, where is it? Oh, the plus just says it requires trellising. I know that already. And so pole beans and regular bush beans are in the yellow section. So in the yellow section, I would plant a bean everywhere where you see a yellow circle. That's how it works. It's super simple. You can put this down, and I'm going to show you how to use it. We're going to put it down, and we're going to drop a seed everywhere where there is a yellow circle because Pole beans, bush beans, they are 9 plants per square foot. Let me compare that to this book here. Let's see if it's the same before I get ahead of myself. Because I've never used the square before. I've always planted per this book. So let's follow this book real quick and make sure that they match. 9 plants per square. It's a match. So that's what we're going to do. But the first thing I got to do, y'all, I got to get this bed together. This bed is not in good shape. Let me move everything out the way, and we're going to get to working on this bed. In this bed behind me here, it is one of my 17-inch Vego Garden metal raised beds. I purchased this with my own money. Nobody gave it to me. I love these beds. And so this is a 17-inch metal raised bed. This whole area used to be designed differently. I redesigned it last year. I changed the flow of this space here because the sun comes up over there and it sets over there. And I figured if I turn the bed so that it can follow the sun, it'll have better sun, more even sun throughout the bed. Hopefully, we'll see. So it'll get sun in the morning and it'll come over on this side, and this side will get that afternoon sun. So the whole point is to get more sunlight to this bed here. That's the plan. We'll see. If it doesn't work, the good thing is there's no bottom in this. I'm just going to pick it up, turn it around, and redesign it if I need to. But anyway, I moved all of the dirt that used to be in my wooden raised beds into this bed. In the bottom, I have cardboard, I have wood, I have twigs, I have all kinds of stuff in the bottom. And then I probably already have about 4, maybe 5 inches of soil. And I'm going to add one more bag of soil. And we are going to improve this by adding Happy Frog soil. Oh, what else is in here? The other thing that's in here are ashes from our fireplace. So during the winter months when I'm burning or using my fireplace and I get all the ashes out of my fireplace, I've always just dumped it into my beds because it's like pot ash. If I'm not mistaken, pot ash is the middle number. I could be wrong. It could be the third number. But in your N, P, and K, pot ash is, I think, the middle number. I don't know, y'all. I could be wrong. But it's good for your garden. That's the way I'm trying to tell you. Your ashes are good for your garden, depending on what you're growing. Now, you don't want to put them straight on something, right? You want to make sure it's mixed in really good, which I've already done. And now we're going to add this bag of Happy Frog. Yeah, I forgot my scissors. Don't laugh at me, y'all. I have to come out to the garden and work when I get a chance. My day job is an all-day job, an all-night job, and I travel and do everything else. So if I get a free minute, y'all, I'm coming to the garden and I'm going to put something in the ground. So I got the Happy Frog in here. For those that are new to my channel, maybe it's the first time you've ever clicked on me, one thing you should know is that I grow all of my own food. I grow it all, except for maybe some fruit. I'm working on it though, y'all. I'm working on it. But I grow all of my own vegetables. That includes potatoes, squash, lettuce, cucumbers, okra, disgusting. And I'm trying to improve my harvest to include more fruits. So that's what I do. I grow my own food. And I grow in many different methods. I grow in raised beds, I grow in pots, I grow in vertical towers, I grow in grow bags. And y'all, I grow everywhere. I will grow anywhere I can find a piece of land, a piece of dirt, or a corner to throw something in. I'm going to throw some vegetables in it. I also help my neighbor grow in their garden next door. So I am always trying to grow food. I just think it tastes better, it's healthier, and it beats anything you're going to ever get out the grocery store. All right, Happy Frog is in. We are now going to move over and put some fertilizer in. For the fertilizer, I am using Dr. Earth. I think this is year 2 for me with Dr. Earth. It's my preferred fertilizer. It's not the only fertilizer I will use though. I will use pretty much anything that's on sale in the grocery store or the hardware store or the nursery. If I see something on sale, for the most part, y'all, I'll buy it. One of the other things I do want to talk about is that if you want to get a jump start to your beans, if you want to get them germinating faster, you can soak your beans overnight before you put them in your bed. I'm not doing that this time, y'all. Because y'all know what? I live in Southwest Ohio. I live in zone 6B. And even though it says no frost for the next 10 days, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I tell you, we can't be that lucky this year not to have frost. So I am in no rush to get these beans to germinate. We will let them germinate in their own timing. So let's try to do what the little seed square tells us to do. And I said we're going to put 9 per square. I'm going to take this to the front of the bed as best I can. Marking my square. And this little pin right here will let you know if you want to use your pen to mark your spots. I'm proud of me, y'all. I normally don't do that. So we are going to let's put provider back here. And if y'all know me, I can't deal with seeds and gloves. So let's put our 9 seeds in here, right on the yellow square. That should be perfectly spaced. We're going to pick it up and move it to the next 9. We're going to put Landreth right here in the middle. Now, I got this seed square just to see how it was going to work. Now, I like it. I really like this. This is nice. We're going to go back and cover it up in a minute, so don't fret. Let's do 2 squares of Landreth. Now we'll move over to the Roma 2 beans, and I'll keep going with this process until I get down to the end. Wouldn't y'all know it, but I'm traveling again next week. What's new, right? What's new? But I'm traveling again next week. So I'm trying my best to take advantage of every nice day I have outside, even if it's only for a couple of minutes in the afternoon at the end of my day. My travel schedule, everybody wonders, how do I get it done? I don't sleep. No, I just try to really be organized and make use of all the time I have. That's where the seed starting journal comes into play. Amongst, making sure I have a schedule, a calendar, all of those kind of things. So that's just how I do it. It's the only way I know how to do it, to be honest with you. So I did 2 of those. I'm going to leave this front edge open, but I need to mark it. Okay, there's the front edge. And y'all, this is just until the plants start coming up, so I'll just know where I can and can't put stuff. And I'm leaving the edge open because I might put some flowers or something right down there in the beginning. And there's not much room back here, so I might not put nothing back here. But in the front, I might put some flowers. All right, let's work on the pole beans. The pole beans we need to climb, so we're going to go to the back side. So for the pole beans, I'm looking at my little yellow squares. Y'all, I'm going to put 1. Based on these squares, I think I'm just going to put 1 so it can climb every one of these upward trellis areas. Put 1. I don't know if this is what you're supposed to use it for, but this is what I'm using it for. 1 at every upright. Y'all, that's going to be too many beans. And I know it's too many beans, but we're going to do it anyway. The good thing about this raised bed is that the rabbit can't reach it, y'all. I tried to put one seed in each one. I could have put two just in case I had a poor germination, but I can always go back and add because it's really super early. Now, if you remember, I haven't covered anything up. That's what we're going to work on now. So we're back on the other side. We'll get it covered up on this side as well. I made sure that they're definitely deep enough. So I didn't do anything wrong this time. Here we go. They're in. They are in, y'all. I got to come back. I have to label because I didn't bring the marker out either. This bed does not have its drip irrigation installed yet, so I will have to water these in, which I will do in the morning. I'm not doing it right now, but we'll get them watered in, and we want to water them in pretty heavy because it's going to be in the low 80s. There's no rain in sight for at least another 2 or 3 days, and I didn't pre-soak the seeds, so they need to be watered in really, really well. And probably in a couple of weeks, I will finish working on the drip irrigation and get it installed again. It's everywhere, y'all. It's going everywhere. But I will bring you with me when I install the drip irrigation. But that's it for the day. A few beans using the seed square is what we did, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please consider subscribing to the channel, giving me a thumbs up, turning on notifications, telling your friends, telling your family, sharing, all of that. And I like to bring you with me anytime I'm working in my garden. I feel like you're here with me anyway. So until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you hang out at Kim's Cozy Corner with me. Bye.